Today we're talking about avoiding problems in the mortgage process with our special guest, Diane Scabilloni. Hey everyone, it's Shelley Killinger here with the Shelley Killinger Group at RE/MAX CSI. So today I have with me a very special guest, Diane Scabilloni from Victorian Finance. Welcome, Diane. It's so nice to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is great.
Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about potential pitfalls in the mortgage process and what our viewers can do to avoid them. But before we dive into all of that, I'd love for you just to take a moment and tell them, in case they don't know who you are, where are you from? How long have you been in the business? That kind of thing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I am originally from Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I grew up in McKeesport. I now live in Bethel Park with my husband and 2 teenage boys.
Yes.
And puppy Zeke. They keep me hopping. I've been a mortgage lender for many years, and I've helped over 3,000 people with their mortgage financing.
Awesome. Congrats!
Yeah. It's I love what I do, and every client is different, and I love working with great people like you.
Oh, well, thank you. And we absolutely love working with you too. So let's talk a little bit about our topic for today. So it's common, unfortunately, to hear stories about the home purchase is moving along smoothly, and then all of a sudden something comes up and there's a delay, or perhaps the mortgage doesn't close, at all. But what most buyers, I don't think, realize is that a lot of those pitfalls, a lot of those problem areas and delays could be avoided.
Yes.
So you brought to us today 3 common reasons why people have problems with their mortgage process. Mm-hmm. So what's the first reason?
Yeah, sure. Well, let me first say that what I do is I give borrowers a to-do list and also a not to-do list.
Yes.
So hopefully they're not going to make any changes once they've been pre-approved. So we hope to avoid those challenges if we can. But to answer your question, because sometimes clients act and think later, a big one is taking on additional debt after they've been pre-approved.
Right. Oh, taking on new debt, that is a big one. But let's expand upon that just a little bit more. What type of debt specifically are we talking about?
Yeah. All right. So when I do a pre-approval, I'm very thorough to take their current debt from their credit report. I take that into account to see how much of a mortgage they can qualify for. So if someone is looking for a house and then all of a sudden they decide to buy a car, that car payment is not calculated into how much of a mortgage they can qualify for. Right. Even if they just take out a new credit card debt, because they get free 10% at the register, and maybe they're like, oh, my monthly payment's only going to be $50. That $50 a month impacts how much of a house they can buy.
Absolutely. And even just $20 to $50 can make that big of an impact.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And definitely buying a car in the middle of a real estate purchase is not a good idea. No. Okay, so we're talking about 3 common reasons why people have problems with their mortgage process. And number 1 was taking on new debt. What's reason number 2?
All right. The second reason is keeping secrets from your mortgage lender.
Oh, my goodness.
Like thinking that I don't need to know certain things, because we go over a lot of details of their financing, and sometimes people are maybe a little bit shy, but the fact that you pay child support, or you plan to change a job, or they guess on their income without really reviewing their pay stubs and their tax returns, or they don't share the information of where their money is coming from, and it's all cash saved at home, which is a problem in lending. We need to be able to verify their assets.
Oh, absolutely. And I laugh, but we really have seen people with like cash under a mattress to close on their home, and that's definitely not a good thing. Right. But I guess the question would be, so how do they know what they don't know? How do they know what information they need to share with you?
Okay, good. Well, when customers apply for the pre-approval, I will go over their income, employment, how much money they have saved for the down payments and the closing costs. And like I said, we will pull their credit.
Yeah.
And if they're going to make a financial decision that impacts any of those areas, we really need to have a conversation about it.
Absolutely, and that makes total sense. So an example could be maybe assuming that their bonus counts as income and not reporting that to you.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really can use bonus income for qualifying for a mortgage as long as they have at least 2 years history of receiving it. And if their employer indicates, we give that all the time.
Okay.
If their employer doesn't verify that it's consistent, or maybe they seem to be on a track of making less bonus every year, then most likely we're not going to be able to use that for qualifying.
Right.
Sometimes clients overestimate or underestimate, and that's why it's really a good idea to collect documentation early in the process so we can review their paperwork and just be certain of the strength of their pre-approval.
Oh, absolutely. And I do just want to pause here and mention something. If you guys are getting the impression that the mortgage process is complicated, you are absolutely right. It can be complex, which is why it's such a good idea to talk to the mortgage lender early in the process and talk often during the process. The lender is going to do their best to forewarn you about potential pitfalls, but I would say don't be afraid to call with questions. Maybe a question such as, I'm thinking about making this big purchase, or I'm thinking about depositing this large amount of cash. How will this impact my loan? It really will help save you a lot of headache in the long run.
That's so true, Shelley. Yeah, that's why I enjoy working with real estate professionals like you. That help their clients to make good lending decisions and are always, those are the ones that have the most success and happy clients. And, you can use any bank, or the realtors that say, hey, you can use any bank that you want, but aren't giving them any kind of direction on making sure that the client stays on the right track. So you do a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. We love to send our customers to someone who we know is going to get the job done with as least amount of worry, or as little amount of worry and problem as possible. So we've talked about reasons number 1 and 2. So what is the third reason that people may have problems with their mortgage?
Yeah, probably the third one that I see happen the most often is a job change.
Yeah.
So some clients think that once we verify their income and their employment, that they're free to just change jobs before closing. That's really not true.
Right.
We verify that a client is still working at their same position up until the day of closing.
Yeah.
So now sometimes things can happen, and someone may get this amazing job offer that they really don't want to pass up. Typically we can work with clients on this if we have a lot of notice. They just need to communicate with us, and like you had mentioned before, so that we can help them to navigate how do we need to kind of jump and make some changes. And the biggest detriment is if they quit a salaried position and then let's say they start a business. Or they're working for the corporation, now all of a sudden they're the owner of the corporation.
Yes.
Then we can really, that is a tough one to overcome. So, if your plan is to do any of those changes, please make sure that you have conversations with us.
And it always just seems to come back to letting the lender know if there's going to be a change, if you know about a change in advance.
Yeah.
And that is a big one. And I can imagine that most people would understand why losing a job would not make them eligible for mortgage financing. That makes total sense. But what if they got promoted, or what if they got a better job?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, promotions or moving within the same company, those things are all fine. And that reflects a sense of stability and security. It's when they change companies or they, become self-employed. That's when we need to regroup. It doesn't mean that suddenly they can't get a mortgage. We just need to regroup and review some things.
So it may take some extra time, essentially.
Exactly.
Then that makes total sense. So what do you think the big takeaway is here for our viewers?
Well, I would say the biggest takeaway would be to have a trusting relationship with your lender.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are going to know all about your personal financial information, and so their goal is to help you to buy a house.
Yeah.
So during the home process, please reach out to notify them of any changes. If family wants to give you a gift, perhaps, to help with the down payment, or you get a raise, or you have a big vacation planned and you need to pay that credit card bill or something like that, tell them anything like this so that they can help you navigate the process. Mortgage lenders investigate everything. So if you think they won't find out, they will.
Yeah, right.
It's not a big deal, and ask, and ask the questions and tell the information.
Yeah.
It's again about communication, and we all want it to be a successful transaction. And I think of it like a triangle.
Yeah.
Like you and me and the clients, and it's just the goal is to help them to buy their dream house.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Well, there you have it, guys. The 3 common reasons why people have problems in the mortgage process and what you can do to avoid them. Diane, thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy day to share your knowledge with our viewers. Where can they find you if they want to reach out to you?
Yeah, well, I have a Facebook business page, and that's Diane Scabilloni, mortgage lender. Or if they want to email me with any personal questions, it's Diane, Diane, at victorianfinance.com.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you again. And guys, I am so excited to hear your comments. Please post them down below and give us some thumbs up, likes, and hearts if you like the content of this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our weekly real estate videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.